Alrighty, guys, welcome to this week's edition of Burning Questions. This is not Mbali, but I'll try my best to pick up where she left off. Guys, this week is going to be a very quick fire episode, but I'm quite excited about the content that we're bringing to you because it's a little tangential to what we usually do, just in terms of the person that is featured. And this week, the quote is from MacG. MacGyver Mukwevo, who is a broadcaster and podcaster, former radio DJ from Metro FM, South Africa's biggest radio station in the country. I think English language station, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he also has a podcast called Podcast and Chill. And I was listening to it last weekend, and he caught some flack because he essentially swore at the youth leading up to Youth Day, saying like "screw them." We said it in much more hectic terms than that, but then when he was trying to explain like what he was saying that because he got a lot of flack from his listeners. He was saying like, "No, guys, look, that's not what I meant. What I meant is you guys need to do stuff for yourself." And he is quoted as saying, "I don't believe we should look to the government to solve our issues. I think we should, as young people, get together and work together." So very strong sentiment, I think resonates with a lot of us. Tioko, I just want to get your perspective off the bat thoughts before we jump into the comments.
Well, first and foremost, I must say that I love MacG quite a lot. I love the fact that he speaks his mind whenever, all the time, whether you're in agreement with him or not. He doesn't care, and I think that's how things should really be. But anyway, regarding the quote in and of itself, I entirely agree with him. I would only add that I think that we should work collectively as a society, all of us, young people, but including the old people. I think it's useful sometimes to work together with old people. They have the experience and all of that. But more than anything, the future belongs to all of us together, right? The young, the old. There's no guarantee, for example, I'm a young person, but I might wake up not around tomorrow, whereas someone who's 50 today might wake up still around in the 23 years from today. So there is a need for us to, as a society, come together and find solutions to the problems we have. We don't even have to come together, actually, come to think about it. As individuals in your own individual space, if there's an issue and it's something that you can solve, don't wait for government. Solve that issue yourself. But I agree, young people should not wait on government any longer.
No, for sure. So guys, the comments, it's this is one of those episodes where I struggle to disagree with a lot of the comments that we see. For example, so I'm just going to run through them. But Rosalie Graham, she comes in with some fire. Lots of issues she tackles here, is where she says, "This is a noble idea. However, the government blocks any and all attempts at self-upliftment. This is done by red tape, infighting at municipalities, and general theft of funds, cadre deployment, and lack of infrastructure. Load shedding is harmful to young businesses. Government must step down and let those who know how to govern step up. Otherwise, we are all lost." I think potentially there, Sholin, maybe government not step down, but certainly people could get around to making government more accountable.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, our youth we face a lot. I mean, whether it's mass unemployment, lack of skills, education system that's failing us, we definitely need to step up and, take the reins instead of just being on the sidelines. I do think that, as Diego mentioned, yes, some of the older generation does have a lot of wisdom and things like that they definitely should be passing on and leaving that type of legacy for us. However, some of our leaders are rather leaving a very undesirable legacy who are currently in government, and that is definitely still going to be impacting us for generations. And something I would definitely say is that we might be like, now all this old topies in government, these people are messing things up. But one thing I have to tell you is that, they might be old and they are sometimes missing the mark, but they won't be there forever. And eventually they're going to be moving on and going into retirement and no longer being here with us. And then we're going to have to be the ones who take action. and have to step up into roles in government, in our communities, as leaders, in business. And then we can no longer be pointing the finger, but the responsibility will be up to us. So we might as well step up now already, and you know what, take up the reins. Yeah,
100%, guys. We are running out of time, but I'm gonna be a bit generous here with the extra 2 minutes, which I want to give this to you, Tiago. This comment by Curvin D, where they ask, then what do we have a government for?
Well, we
Fill
mainly
us in there.
Sure, we have a government for ensuring that citizens are safe, for ensuring that contracts between private individuals and contract between the government and the people, the state and the people are enforced, to ensure that a good quality education is provided in the public sector, particularly for those who cannot afford education provided by the private sector, to ensure that a good healthcare system is created for those who cannot afford a private healthcare system. But really, those are the main things, right? Safety, education, and the health. For me, those are the central things that government should be there for. But of course, there are other things as well, ensuring that illegal substances don't get into the country and stuff of that nature. So it's mostly around the law, around health, and around education. Everything else, they should stay as far away as possible from, except when they do come to collect taxes. But the taxes should be very low, because we shouldn't be taking care, a few people in the country shouldn't be taking care of the majority of people. Instead, majority of people should be taking care of a few people who cannot provide for themselves. Someone who has hands, who has feet, who can wake up every day, speak a lot of things, and do a whole lot of things. That person can definitely go to work. It's not my responsibility as Tiago to be taking care of someone like that who is fully able to take care of themselves. Government should take care of those who cannot take care of themselves, and those other few things. Sure.
Absolutely. As Malechi Mbeki says in one of our quote cards that performed really well, is that an economy only works when every able-bodied person is participating and working in that economy.
Absolutely.
And that's something we should definitely be striving towards. Yeah.
Absolutely. Our taxes should be going towards the few things we agreed upon as a country, public service delivery. Then the rest of these people who we are currently giving grants and everything, honestly speaking. But one last point, the child grants as well. It's a discussion for another day. But things such as the child grant, we can't. Someone going and having 11 kids, and I kid you not, there's one such person in Begasford that I know who has 11 kids, and that money must come out of my salary. That's nonsense. It must come to an end.
Definitely a conversation for another day, but we'll have to leave it there. Unfortunately, guys, remember to follow us at Badger of Liberty. Find us on your favorite social media platform, be it Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for your thoughts today. In Mbali's absence, I bid you adieu, and we'll check you guys next week on Burning Questions and Freedom Fanatics. Have a good one.